Dear students, I am Raghunath, Associate Professor, Government First Aid College, Government First Aid and PG Center, Chintamani. Today, I am going to do first BSc, first semester, Unit 1, Principles of Analytical Chemistry. Under that, Session 4. Under Session 4, we have the syllabus of rules of fire prevention and accidents, followed by first aid, precautions to be taken while handling the toxic chemicals, and also how to handle concentrated acids and also fuming acids, including organic solvents. See, this comes under the maintenance of the analytical lab or chemistry lab, and how to prevent if fire accident occur, or if any flame has been observed in the lab. In such cases, what we have to do. At the same time, what is the first aid in analytical labs, including if something goes wrong, how to do first aid. First of all, what is first aid and everything I will discuss in this session. Now, rules of fire prevention and accidents. What are the rules? The following rules can help to prevent the fire and accidents in the chemical laboratories or in analytical laboratories. Keep away from the heat, sparks and source of ignition. You should be very careful when you are doing experiments. There may be flammable solvents, or it can easily catches the fire, and if you are handling such chemicals, be careful that you just keep away the heat, keep away of that chemical from the heat as well as sparks and source of ignition. So next one is keep containers closed except when they are in use. For example, we have a containers which are volatile and it may catches the fire also. If you are using such containers, be careful and let us close it. Whenever you are using, just open it and immediately you just close the containers which are having volatile organic solvents. Third one, maintain some adequate ventilation. Adequate ventilation means the lab should have windows as well as windows and exhaust fans and everything. Just air should flow from outside and inside of the lab also. That should be there. You have to maintain. And next important is use labeled and proper safety cans and cabinets. If you are using can, if you are using any chemical, it should be the name should be there. That is also very important to avoid the. If you don't know the bottle, if you are using a chemical which is present in a bottle, if label is not there, you do not know which chemical inside of the bottle, and you should be very careful. At the same time, maintain induced vapor suppressing solvents and spill control media. That means if any solvent which is producing lot of vapors, just you have to use the suppressing spill to decrease the evaporation or vaporization. That will help. Otherwise, that particular liquid it undergo easily evaporation. As a result, lot of vapors are covered by the lab, and there may be a chances of getting fire accident. The best way of vapor suppressing material is activated charcoal. At the same time, minimize the quantity of flammable chemicals in the laboratory. Don't put hundreds of liters of flammable chemicals. You have to minimize the quantity. Maximum quantity you should not be put in the lab. This is one of the prevention to prevent. It is the prevention of the fire accident. At the same time, avoid the contact between flame and highly flammable solvents like acetone, diethyl ether, alcohol, etc. Next, review your fire prevention procedures for every 6 months. In lab, you just check it. What are the equipments we have to prevent any fire accidents for every 6 months, like extinguisher and followed by a sprinkling of the water which are fixed on the top of the ceiling of the labs. You have to check whether they are working, they are in working condition or not. One can avoid accidents by taking proper care and precautions. The person who is working in the laboratory should have a awareness, and also he should take proper care and precautions, preventions also he can take. Do not store flammable liquids in a fume hoods. We have every lab, one particular corner, there is a fuming chamber. There you have to don't store much flammable liquids in the fuming hoods. This completes the rules of prevention of accidents. Prevention of fire accidents and including normal accidents also. Next point is, what is first aid? See, first aid, we know that first aid we have two types. If any accident has occurred, immediately we may get ambulance and they will have a first aid facilities. At the same time, if any accident occur in the lab, we should have a first aid kit. First of all, what is first aid? First aid is nothing but the first and immediate assistance given to a person, or I can say it is the first and immediate medical assistance given to any person who is suffering from a minor or a serious illness or injury, which can provide or which can prevent or it preserves the life. The first aid is, suppose there may be a fire accident in lab, a person has got a slight burnings. Now immediately you have to save his life. For that, what we are giving assistance, medical assistance. The first and immediate medical assistance given to a person who has severe or minor injury or illness. The main motto of first aid is to prevent the death or to save his life. That is the first aid. In road accidents, first aid little bit different from the first aid given in the laboratory. In laboratory, we may get injury from the chemicals or from the glass operators or from glass pieces or anything we can expect. But first aid kit should be present in the labs. Now this is the meaning of first aid one should have. The main aim of the first aid what is the aim of first aid? Prevent the situation of illness and injury. If injury is very big one, we can prevent it, or we can give a bandage. If a bleeding is occurring, we can use the bandage, and the recovery will be speed up. The next aim of the first aid is recovery will be speed up. Provide the pain relief. For example, person is suffering from pain, we can give a tablet or a painkiller in the form of tablet. As a result, person suffering from the pain will be reduced. Protect the unconscious. If a person is if you are not giving any medical assistance, the person may undergo unconscious. The person who got injury or illness in the lab, to avoid the unconscious, this first aid will help. And the main purpose of first aid is to save the life. The person should not die. What we are giving, the main motto of first aid is just saving of life and prevention of the death and protection of his life. These are all the main aim of first aids. Next point is, what are the first aid kit will have the following first aid kit will have the following equipments or things. Number one is gloves. We will use the gloves for the palms, hands, as well as we will have a glass for the eye protection, and the CRP packet marks. It is a particular thing used in the first aid. And a tourniquet is also one particular object in the first aid. And the roller gas, that is the gauze, a cotton having a net-like structure, and 4-8-4 gauze, and we have a medical tape, 2 triangular bandages, and spirit and certain things, or burner, or if any bones, we have a burner. Burner we are using a chemical which we are giving on the burning wounds. This is a general first aid kit used in the present in the first aid kit. Next point is prevention to be taken while handling toxic chemicals or concentrated or fuming acids and organic solvents. Precautions to be taken while handling toxic chemicals. See, in case of toxic chemicals, we should be very for all the three, toxic chemical or concentrated or organic solvents, keep the chemical container closed. Don't open any chemical container. If you open it, and definitely evaporation occur, vapors are coming from the bottle and it occupies the air, and if any flame has contact, immediately it catches the fire and you may get fire accident. Never use wrong or unmarked reagent or chemicals. Don't use chemical if that chemical name, if you don't know. That means the bottle chemical name is specified on the bottle. If any bottle there is no name on this bottle, such chemicals you should not use it. We do not know its reactivity. You may think most of the acids or organic solvents are colorless, and we do not know its reactivity towards the oxygen or burning. Don't put spatulas, stirrers or other objects into storage container for chemicals. If you are using any chemicals, don't put spatulas or stirrers or everything or any object, other objects in the chemical. That also causes a problem. Provide a personal protection equipment, because we have to wear the personal protection equipment. We will call it as a PPE. You might have seen the corona doctors or nurses. They will be using those PPE kits. Next, provide respirators, gloves and goggles. Goggles for eyes, gloves for the hands, and respirators. We should not inhale any unwanted chemicals or like that. Use mask always. Mask is the covering of the mouth as well as nose. Wear the chemical resistant apron. Wear the chemical resistant apron. We have a white color aprons which has resistance towards any chemical. If some chemical falls on the cloth, it can be prevented by the apron if you wear. At the same time, wear a chemical resistant gloves, goggles at all the times. When you are in the lab, you should always wear the gloves for hands, for palms, and goggles for all the time when you are in the lab. At the same time, establish procedures and evacuation routes in case of fire or solvent leaks. If some fire accidents are, or you should know the established procedures and evacuation routes. If something goes wrong, how to minimize that damage. For example, ether has spill out on the land, you may get floor, you may get very strong smell. How to clean it and how to minimize the effect of a particular chemical if it catches fire or it spill over on the floor. For that, you should know the procedure and evacuation ideas. Avoid the breathing of vapors. If any volatile liquid, organic liquid has produced a lot of vapors, you just avoid the breathing of vapors of organic solvent that may intoxicate it, or it may damage the lungs or esophagus or in a wind tube, everything inside the human body. And you must use the fume hood. If you want to open any concentrated acids, you must take that bottle and it should be opened in the fuming chamber or fuming hood. The vapors coming out of from the mouth of the bottle, it will pass away through the fuming hood or fuming chambers. Storing in workplace, only available volume of organic solvents needed exactly for use of that day. That means if you need only 10 ml of organic solvent, you just use it. Don't store 5 ml of organic solvent on your table or the place where you are doing experiments. Should be very careful in this aspect. Now, under reference I have given Vogel textbook, Fundamentals of Analytical Chemistry by D.L. Skoog and Skoog, Basic Concepts of Analytical Chemistry by Kopkar and everything. This finishes the session 4 of Unit 1 of Analytical Chemistry. Thank you.